Hello, and how is everybody today? Thanks once again for joining us here at Phoenix Fitness to listen or witness another episode of Vets and Barbells. Those of you watching, we are out of the office right now. It is blazing hot in that thing with the sun coming through the window, and I was not going to sit there and cook half of my face off. So we're out here. We're in the gym. You can see some of the stuff around me. Pretty humble setup, but just enough to get everything done. I'll actually turn the camera real quick. For those of you that aren't in town and would never see it, I'll turn the camera. You'll see the air bike, the GHDs, the big pull-up workout rig, the MMA corner, stacks of bumper plates. But yeah, I've got bench presses and free weights behind me as well as a leg press. But much more. If you ever care or you're in town, you want to come in and check it out, just hit me up. I am extremely tired, but we got a good one today. We really do. And like I said in my social media post earlier today, I'll do 2 episodes this week. The one will be now, and the other one will be probably posted sometime around Saturday or Sunday. But I've got drill this weekend with my unit, and so we're probably going to get a nice quick little interview or maybe several interviews that I'll stash for later. As far as what's going to be going on with that. So anyway, the topic I would like to cover today, and it's super applicable to the time of year, is how to stay motivated during the holidays. What is it that you're going to do just to not be derailed from your goals or what you're trying to achieve in life, or just to make sure that you're not making things worse for yourself? I mean, it's kind of funny because we go from this season of everyone's active or more or less outside and doing stuff during the summer and even kind of early middle fall, and then as soon as the weather starts to turn, we get into more Thanksgiving. Everyone's prepping for the the season of gratitude, which I've always liked a lot. I think just around the time of Thanksgiving, just the vibe that everyone puts off and how everyone comes together, it's just super awesome. And then we go into this season of giving with Christmas and gifts. And, personally, there's just so much hustle and bustle with Christmas sometimes that it's just not my thing. I enjoy Christmas. I mean, everybody likes presents, and I like getting together with family. But there's just a lot of hustle and bustle. And right now with, people just trying to make a buck and do what they can, still just not my favorite season, but it's a fun season nonetheless. But the biggest thing is with the gratitude to giving is make sure you're not giving people too much or you're giving yourself too much grief. What I mean by that is when these big holidays come around and things get busy, time gets short, the sun goes down faster, we feel like it's 8 p.m. at night when really it's only like 3:30 in the afternoon. I mean, trust me, I've been hit a couple days and I'm just like, yeah, it's like nap time. I'm ready to go watch my kids, maybe take a nap on the couch while they're down or something. Look, I get it. Things can get tired. We slow down. It's more of the hibernation season because, trust me, I get it. Boredom creeps in. And the biggest thing that, honestly, thinking about it is, the old phrase of an idle mind is, the devil's playground or whatever. And, of course, that bleeds off to other things, but it's still applicable to your personal means of what you're trying to achieve. When you're not actively pursuing and chasing your goals, you start to make little choices that at first don't seem like they're really hurting you that much, or they're not hurting your progression. Well, all of a sudden, all these little choices you're making of there's so many, I'll skip that meal because, I'm just not feeling it. Or I'm going to eat this, but, I'm going to let it fit my macros, even though it's not really what I should be eating. Or, I'm just not feeling it today. I'll make up with a good workout tomorrow. I won't even do cardio today. It's okay. I'll just hit it tomorrow. Sometimes, occasionally, those things, it's I don't want to say it's okay, but sometimes it's okay as long as you have the discipline as an individual, or maybe if you're, working out with a buddy, that you either need to stay, and I know I've mentioned this before, but staying accountable to yourself, making sure that you're keeping yourself on task, motivated, and disciplined, even when no one's watching, or as a team, making sure that you're achieving your goals or keeping each other accountable together. I know when I'm chasing after your goal or a certain desire that I have, sometimes maybe I talk to my wife about it. Let her know it's kind of rolling in my head, maybe bounce some ideas off her, and that way she kind of knows where my mindset is and my mode of what I'm trying to achieve, and therefore she can either keep me accountable, and another way is just maybe she'll just ask me updates on it. So if I know that someone's going to ask me my progress on something, it's going to keep me accountable, because it's going to come down to, if I'm on a certain goal, say, okay, I'm just trying to cut weight and lean out, and then somebody, and I say that 2-3 weeks later, it's like, oh, I've kind of done it, but was I super diligent on what I know I needed to eat, or how much, and the cardio and the lifting? And then somebody says, hey man, how's your cut going? And in my head, I know I've not been on it. So in that person's question, do I as a person just want the perception to be the reality? Do I want to say to them, oh yeah, no, it's going good, I'm just, I'm slowly getting into it. You're not exactly telling a lie, but you are telling a lie, because it's a white lie. Whereas you could also be like, man, I started really hard, I was really tight on it, and then things got crazy at home, and I haven't been as disciplined with it, and that's my fault, but I'm going to get back on it. Thanks for asking. There's just that person asking may never really know the whole truth of the matter, but the thing is, you personally, you will know where it sits if you told the whole truth, or just like partial truth, or just a straight out lie. That's going to carry with you, and even a little interaction like that can mentally continue to derail you, in whether it's even the holidays or any time of year where you're going through a friction point. And I don't want that whole thing right there to seem like a rabbit hole, because it ties back to staying motivated during the holidays. Really comes down to you. If you can't be motivated yourself to say no to that extra serving, or that extra plate, or the foods out on the the buffet line, if they're if you do buffet style like my families do, come big meals, then that's on you. Or, oh hey, we're going to go to a second dinner, and you're like, ooh, I just slammed that first family meeting or gathering, do I want to do it again? The thing is, you don't have to. Just because you show up somewhere doesn't mean you're obligated to have to eat food. Especially if other people understand that, like, even if you're bulking, sure, you could think like, oh, I could get away with like an extra meal. At the same time, if you're trying to do a true and dedicated like bulk to make sure that you're going in the right direction, and depending on your coach or how you're set up, like, there's different avenues of ins and outs to go as far as like what's allowed and what's not allowed, as far as cheat meals or cheat days, or however it is. That's one thing. But for those people that are just trying to stay motivated, on track, either lean out, maintain, or just make sure that you're not putting on extra, well, then you need to say no, and you need to realize that you need to say no to the excess. Calories in, calories out. The biggest thing I do if I'm going into, say, a holiday day, like, it's the family's getting together, either, brunch, mid-afternoon, dinner. I know growing up, this was nuts. I'm glad I, didn't super blow up as a kid, but I remember it's either Thanksgiving or Christmas, but like, because we had so much family close to us, we'd do like a brunch at one house, late lunch at another, and then a big family dinner with the main family. And looking back now, I'm like, how did I house all that food? And then again, you're a kid, you're probably a bottomless pit with all the running around you're doing. So there's my point. Most kids have a metabolism and energy stores that are just continually burning, like they're just going. Here's the thing, as adults, our bodies are not operating at that metabolic or caloric burn, like just constantly. And so what it is our bodies slow down. We have to take more time to understand how our bodies work, how they process. My body right now does not process things or react the same way to certain types of training as it did when I was in college. And that's just what's this, 20, almost 2021, so like 7 years ago. Okay, 7, 8 years ago. My body doesn't do the same thing. Even 4 years ago, it's not doing the same thing. It's slowing down. So I have to really look at what my goals are and where I am as an adult, a very active 29, almost 30-year-old, male, and what I do on big eat holiday meal days. Like we're in the mode right now, the season gatherings. That's what I'm going to call them. When I'm going into a season gathering of family, and there's going to be a lot of foods on that buffet line that are not in my wheelhouse. I would never eat them on a daily basis. Super high in carbs, fats, processed stuff, super high in sugars and whatnot. Biggest thing I know, especially if it's just a meal later on, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do an hour of cardio. I'm going to get that heart rate up, and I'm going to do probably 45 minutes to an hour for sure. That's happening. The rest of the day leading up to that big meal, I'm going to be chugging water. I almost want to hit my gallon of water before I even get to there. On top of that, if I am going to eat, I'm going to eat mainly just protein. See if I can even get, say just like 2/3. And this is me saying like, if it's a dinner, I'm going to see if I can get 2/3 of my protein intake of the day before that meal. I'm going to keep my carbs and my fats super low, because I know at that meal there's just going to be a lot of things that my body is not going to be used to. And if I was eating normally up to that dinner and then ate that dinner, that next day, I'll tell you what, I feel like a hibernated bear. I don't want to get up. I'm slow, I'm sluggish, and that's because of everything that we just housed into our bodies. Unlike, Chinese food where you eat it and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm stuffed. And then you go take a nap and then you wake up and you're like, oh, leftover Chinese food, let's eat more. Like it's not that way. It's, to mitigate the lethargic and the feeling of guilt or shame. One, take the precautionary steps. So there's one. Understand what's coming down the pipeline, be aware, and take the precautionary steps. Two, if you're going to eat at these meals and you're not going to bring your food to stay on track, or you're just going to eat the certain things that do fit within your wheelhouse, like turkey's fine. Mashed potatoes, so long as they're not creamed or slathered in butter, or like the asparagus or the green beans, like as long as they're raw or most likely sauteed, like that fits in your wheelhouse. That's perfectly good. Be careful on the ham, I'll tell you that much. But just allow it to fit. Just allow yourself some grace. I say that a lot on the podcast, but what I mean by this is, if this is going to happen, and so for me, like big cheat meals, I typically keep to like every other month or every 6 weeks, more or less, just to keep my sanity. If I'm not doing little things throughout each week and I'm trying to be extremely strict, then I save a very big cheat for about 6 to 8 weeks at a time. And I've just found that's about the limit right now that my sanity can handle without like, yo, I need to cheat. I need a cheat meal. Is when this day happens, just go into it and just let yourself eat, okay? Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't be eating it and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to allow myself this day, and then eat it and then just instantly feel guilty. Because what you've just done is, it's not just really the food going in that, honestly, if you're active up to that point, your metabolism is still going to burn it. I'm not going to say you're going to wake up the same weight or even leaner, but you're going to get back in your mode, and it's going to burn out. It might take a day or two to like reestablish some. You might be visiting the toilet a little bit, or you might have that one big kind of like, well, I got to go to the bathroom. But that's just reality. Is give yourself some grace. Allow yourself to just enjoy that day, enjoy that meal, just enjoy it with your loved ones and the people you're with. And then as soon as that day is done, or as soon as that meal is done, you're back on track. In fact, for me, Thanksgiving, after that big meal, I just drink water the rest of the day. One, because I'm just not used to a bunch of the salt, the sodium content or the sugars in a lot of those foods. And so I was like, woo, drinking water the rest of the day. So I had like 2/3 of a gallon up to that. And then after that, I probably drank another 2/3 of a gallon. So yeah, I was up all night peeing. So, but that's is what it is. Let's see. Let me check my checklist. Give yourself the day. Eat higher proteins before. Yep. Doing an hour of cardio in the morning, and that's a personal suggestion. Like again, for me, doing an hour of cardio, especially on like off days or weekends, I just feel better throughout the rest of the day. The body just feels tighter. Mentally, even if I didn't hit the gym, the fact that I did something just puts me in a positive mindset, and that's a big thing. I mean, don't allow yourself to fall into a negative mindset over all of this. And the biggest thing with that is remember your goals, remember your why, remember your reasons. What is it you're trying to work for? Again, this goes back to like really anything. Is it a competition prep? Is it maintaining? Is it just progressing in your goals? And when I look at a holiday season coming up, and I know because I have a family, we're going to meet with other families, we're always prepping food. Maybe it's at our house, maybe it's someone else's house. Then there's travel. If if I'm not waking up early to do a workout or to train clients before everything's done, and then I can get home and help, you know, I'm going to treat it like just a rest day, and then I'm going to hit a workout, my typical workout later on in the week. And again, I don't want this to seem like super roundabout as far as like what it happens, but you know, planning and preparation are going to be the biggest things that help you survive like a big holiday season. And staying motivated is, again, it's just so personal to everybody, but my big thing, because I had to find it for myself, is whatever your why is, you have to hold on to it. Give yourself some grace. Like if you're going to give yourself a day, give yourself the day. If you're not, then you better prep and plan for it. You better prepare your food. You better know exactly what you're going to do, and you better know that when that temptation comes along to eat a certain food that you're telling yourself you're not going to eat, you're not going to eat it. Because the moment that you let your resolve slip, and this is really anything in life, the moment you step off the track, you are setting yourself up to potentially continue stepping down that road. And just in the realm of fitness and health, that justification can be a very slippery slope. And the last thing you need is, what's the phrase? Justification is the greasy slide pull to hell or something. But, just to derailing you or putting you in a negative mind space. And what I've seen honestly wreck people more within the clientele fitness world-esque, that realm, is that negative mind space. When someone's doing their best to work out, to eat, and they're just seeing slow progress, one, it's, okay, am I or are they doing everything that I am telling them to do? Are they eating the levels they should? Are they hydrating? Are they recovering with the recovery techniques or routines I've given them? Have I been doing the same for myself? Am I drinking my own Kool-Aid? And if somebody can honestly say yes, and if I can look at myself and say, yes, I'm doing these things, well, then I need to realize I'm in the process, and I need to have faith in the process. I need to have faith in the program. I need to have faith that I am doing what it is I need to do to achieve the end state. Okay. So around the holidays, staying motivated, you need to realize that even though there may be a day of eating or a meal of mass eating, that one day, that one meal is not, and I repeat, is not going to negate all the work you've done up to that point, if you've done the work. And then, because after that, if you've been diligent in doing the work up to this day or that meal, then you know and you have the discipline that you're going to be doing the work post that day or that meal. And so honestly, that little cheat day, that little cheat meal is going to mean nothing in the long run. And if anything, it's probably going to save your sanity or whatever. Um, the only thing I could say as far as supplement wise goes is you could take a glucose disposal agent. Again, it's not really a sup that's in my wheelhouse. It's not really one I worry about using. But when you're coming up on like if you're about to pound some pretty big meals, taking a GDA supplement, like I said, a glucose disposal agent. There's two companies I trust that have them. One is Action Sledge, has a GDA Plus, and then First Form also has a GDA, glucose disposal agent as well. So let me read you the one from First Form since that was kind of the first one that popped up. Proper glucose disposal or optimization is one of the major keys to fat loss and athletic performance. A good GDA supplement can help with that. Let me go through all the BS. It has the ability to increase your muscle sensitivity to insulin, which will then promote healthier blood sugar levels. It's going to consist of this. Anyway, so essentially, it just helps it absorb. So yeah, now it's all coming back from all the other certs I've taken. Is essentially a GDA just helps the body not hold on to the excess glucose, to not allow it to be stored, and it helps with elimination, because that's the biggest thing with diet and nutrition and supplementation: consumption, digestion, elimination. How fast or how efficiently can your body process foods or process nutrients and store what needs to be stored or used, and then eliminate the rest so that your body is not holding on to excess. When our body starts storing excess, that's when we start building up fat stores. And fat nutrients, so the macronutrient for your lipids or fats, do not inherently make you fat. If anyone out there believes that, you're wrong. I'm just telling you as kindly as I can, you're wrong. Excess of anything will make you fat. Okay? Fat, and then obese, and then overweight. And at that point, even during that whole cycle, please get some help, change some things in your life, reach out to those that are going to help you along that path so that you don't have to, have a crutch for pharma, essentially. Because then it makes you more at risk for viruses, i.e. the one that's kind of going around right now. Final point that I'm going to make and close this bad boy out is invest in yourself. Excuse me. The actions, habits, and mindset you choose to carry will be how you operate. It will be how you see yourself, how you see other people, how you see your family. People can change. Individuals and people can change. It takes them desiring to step up their level of self-care. There's a lot of people in this world that are extremely giving. They're just givers. They'll give up themselves, their time, their efforts, their means, just to help other people and really put other people first. And that's fine. There is, however, my opinion, there's a level where you need to step back and take care of yourself. If your body is suffering because of what you're trying to do for other people, and I hope this is taken the right way, you should just realize and be aware to step back. Your health comes first. My family can't be taken care of, can't be provided for if I don't take care of myself. So I'm going to use myself as an example. If I'm doing too much, I'm not getting enough sleep, or I'm too fatigued and I'm trying to do all these, extra jobs or make something happen, but at the same time, while a lot of those things are positive, if my family life and my relationship with my spouse is suffering, then I need to take a step back and reevaluate some things. Um, and it honestly comes down to, again, your goals and your priorities. Like, what matters most to you, and um, and how are you going to achieve the mindset and such. So again, that one takes a lot more. That's extremely personal to everybody. You need to realize what it is that motivates you, what your goals are, who you're going to surround yourself to achieve those goals. Like a lot of people say, if you surround yourself with like six rich people, you'll be the seventh. It's not going to come just oh, here it is. Um, but if you work for it and you soak in that, then yeah, you'll find wealth, and whatever you deem as wealthy, then you'll find that. Same with your goals. Whatever you deem as a goal that's realistic, attainable, that you'll work hard for, that'll make you stretch, and you put yourself on that path. Stay on that path. Don't quit. When I hear someone has a goal or someone's working for something, I mean, I'm not the best at it, but occasionally I'll reach out and be like, "Hey, dude, how you doing? How's that goal going? Or is it, are you everything going well? Like, awesome. Like, I'm super happy for you. Like, I, as long as you don't burn the bridge with me, I'm probably not going to burn the bridge with you. And friends will always be friends, and I'll always see that, and want to see them in the best place they are, until they just, don't want, either don't respond or, just don't. I just whatever. But again, I'll reiterate this: is the actions, the habits, and the mindset you choose to carry will be how you operate as a person. So again, be aware of what those are, the good and the bad. See what you can tighten up in your life. Doing these things, preparing yourself personally and mentally, will help keep you motivated during the holidays or the friction points that happen or come up. Give yourself some grace. Understand that one day and one meal is not going to hurt you. Okay? You may wake up feeling pretty lethargic, feeling pretty rough, but it'll be one day as long as you make sure it stays one day. All right, everybody. I think I've talked enough. We're going to sign off on this. Thank you all again for everyone that's continuing to listen. I super appreciate it. I hope everyone's looking forward to this weekend, whoever I can grab for an interview. And like I said, maybe it'll just be just a bunch of dudes in one hotel room, just kind of chatting, But again, thank you all. Really appreciate it, and continue to spread and share. Thank you again. Keep your powder dry. See you next time.